Hey everybody, this is Sonia with Melanin Goddess Life. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to talk about the power of manifestation, but in particular, how I manifested my new car. And basically, this manifestation is what I consider the accidental manifestation. And crazy enough, um, I know there are no accidents when it comes to the universe and manifesting. But for me, sometimes a manifestation can take on a mind of its own and its own energy. And I'm going to show you the ways that how once you become so skilled in manifesting that you really have to be careful on the things that you put out to the universe, particularly when you don't put any type of instructions out, because you are vibrating so high in the power of manifesting that you are constantly vibrating in manifestation energy. And it can just do its own thing at any time. So let me tell you how I manifested my new car. Now I'm going to show you a picture of my new car. So that's my new car. So let's first things first. Um, I am a believer in the power of manifestation. I believe that manifesting is a gift that we all have. It's just that some of us have tapped into this gift and some of us have just left it dormant. But in actuality, we manifest every day, all day, either consciously or subconsciously. And most people manifest unconsciously. There are people in this world that have tapped into this energy, and so they consciously manifest. They bring things into fruition in their life, whatever that is, purposefully and intentionally with their own divine power, paired with the divine power from God and the universe, or whatever you call it. So that's my spiel on that. Manifestation is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And sometimes it gets so strong until it just takes on a mind of its own. And that is what happened to me when I manifested my new car. So I got my new car, I believe, I can't remember the exact date, but it was maybe a couple of weeks ago. So maybe the second week of March. First week of March, something like that. That's when I got my new car. So here's the deal on how that was. Now, I had a car, okay? I was happy with my car. Even though my car was 16 years old, it was still a good car. So I'm gonna put a picture of my old car in this video so you can see what it looked like. Okay, so that is my old car. It's a 2005 C230 Mercedes-Benz, which I was very, very much happy with. I love my car. I'm the kind of person that will keep a car and drive it till the wheels fall off. Now, keep in mind, my car was older and I knew it needed a few repairs. And particularly, it was some major things that needed to be done to it. And I had already resolved in my mind that I wasn't really going to put any more money into the car. And I was just going to purchase a new car at the end of 2021, or at best the early parts of 2022. It was my goal that my car was going to last me that long. And keep in mind, like I said, I don't drive my car a lot. And so I figured, yeah, I could probably finagle the rest of the year and then get the car at the end of the year. Now, keep in mind, I had already decided in my mind the kind of car that I was going to get. I knew I was going to get another Mercedes. I knew that I wanted the new Mercedes to be white, and I knew that I wanted my car to have the light tan interior. I knew that. I was, but I hadn't really decided on which model I was going to purchase. I was actually looking at the C300, and that was the one that I was going to go with, and I kind of had set my mind on it. But I knew I wanted it to be white, and I knew what the interior I wanted to look like. I just wasn't, it was a little bit of a question mark on the model. That's neither here nor there. So I had already purposed it in my mind. And the funny thing about it is, my daughter, probably about 3 to 4 weeks prior to that, had just purchased a new car. So I actually went to the dealership with her when she was purchasing her car. And of course, when you come in, the salesperson is always trying to sell everybody a car. And we're sitting there talking. And she asked me, was I interested in purchasing a new car? And I said, well, not right now. I said, but I'm definitely going to get a new car. And it's going to be another Mercedes. It's going to be white, and I wanted to have the light tan interior. And I remember her saying, like, wow, you're really specific about what it is you want. And I knew that's what it was going to look like. I just hadn't decided on the model. Now, keep in mind, when you are manifesting, the number one thing is the words that you put out. Be mindful of the words that you put out. Because I was just saying it's going to be white, light tan interior, and I really wasn't sure about the model. But I had already spoke it into the universe. So the thought was the first process of the manifestation. Just me thinking about it was the first process of the manifestation. The second thing was I was speaking it into existence. Speaking it. Now, again, I was planning on getting this car at the end of the year. That was the plan. So after my daughter gets her car, we leave and everything. I go on with my life, no big deal. I get home, and I don't remember, maybe it's a few days later. I go on the website to kind of get an idea of the vehicles and try to like compare the models and all the bells and whistles that come on the car, kind of get an idea of what I like. So this is where I think that I'm not going to say went wrong, but this is where I think it took a turn that I didn't think it was going to take. I decided that I was going to prep for the manifestation because I was going to use a vision board. I'm big on vision boards. I like to use vision boards, and I love to use candles to manifest with it. Those are my two go-tos that I love. So I was going to do a vision board towards the end of the year. Okay. So I had my poster board in my closet, and I said, well, I'm going to print out some pictures of the car that I would like, and I was going to start assembling the vision board. Now, on my vision boards, I like to put pictures, and I definitely like to write down everything that I want this manifestation to look like because I want to be as detailed as possible. But I also want to be flexible. I have this saying, you want to be specific about what you want to give as many details, but don't tie the universe's hands so tightly that it doesn't have room to bring you something bigger and better. Because at the end of the day, we have to trust that the universe is going to make the final decision and it's going to be in our best interest. Because sometimes we want something, and because we want it, we feel like that's the best thing for us. The universe, for me, has the final say because I trust the universe to guide me and to bring me exactly what I need. So I knew that. So I went ahead and I started to print out pictures from the internet, from the website, from the car dealership. And I'll show you what I printed out. I printed out this because this is the color of the interior that I wanted. Now keep in mind, I hadn't really settled on the model, but this picture is actually a representation of what the interior looks like in my car. I really wasn't paying attention to the total picture. I was just looking at the interior color, but I didn't notice that it was two-toned, black here. I just was looking at, this was the representation I wanted, was the seats, was this color, okay? And then I went on and I printed out another picture. Now, this was white Mercedes. and the interior. I was just trying to get an idea of what it was going to look like, because you want to have representations of what it is you're trying to manifest. I definitely wanted the panoramic sunroof, so I was getting everything as detailed as possible to make sure I had a good visual of what it is that I wanted in this car. Now, I printed out these things. My plan was, at some point, I was going to get my poster board. I was going to attach my pictures. I was going to write all the details on this board. And I was going to specifically write the date, the time frame in which I wanted this manifestation to take root, because I wanted to do it at the end of the year for some reason. Okay, so I printed the pictures out. And I just put the pictures here on my desk, just out of the way, because I was ultimately going to come back and do an entire vision board. Keep in mind, this is energy. Pictures are energy. So here it is. Again, this is another, request that I've put out to the universe. Now, it carries energy. So the universe picks up on that. It picks up on the thought, the spoken word, and then the tools and the representation that you're bringing, that you're presenting. And so this was it. So even though I hadn't officially done a vision board, I had done another step in the manifestation. But the issue with this was, I had not given the universe any instructions on how I would like for this to manifest, on how or when I wanted this to manifest. I was just saying it and printing out things that represent it, and I really wasn't giving the universe any instructions. So I put it down. I went on with my life, because I knew ultimately I'll just get to it eventually. It was no rush. And I don't even remember from the time that I printed this out until the time that, I do remember. It must have been probably roughly a couple of weeks later. I was driving in my car, of my 16-year-old Mercedes, which I was in love with and had no issue with. I was driving home. I was on my way home. And all I remember was hearing a pop. I'm thinking, what is that noise? The next thing I realized was, I'm still driving, but my steering wheel locks up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? So I didn't panic. I just slowed down. I was almost home. The only thing, it seemed like the power steering had went out, because when I got to the light and it was time for me to turn, it took major effort for me to turn the wheel. So I was still able to get home. Luckily, I was not far from my house. The only thing was, when I pulled up in my driveway, my car was smoking. It was smoking. I was so scared that the car was going to explode. It was just smoking that much. At that point, I got out of the car and I said to myself, okay, it's over. It's over. There's nothing else I can get out of there. I called my children, my son and my daughter, and I'm like, I think my car is dead. And I was like, well, do you think I could get it fixed? And my children were like, it's over, Mom. It is over. The car is dead. It's nothing else to it. So I had to resolve in my spirit that it was over. And so I said, okay, I gotta get a car. So the universe at this time, for me, I had not given it any instructions. I hadn't given it any time frame of when I wanted to do this. I just gave it the request that I wanted the Mercedes in white, and I wanted it with light tan seats, and I just wanted it. Now what I did do was, I knew how much I wanted to pay for it, and that was another thing. I kind of knew how much I wanted to pay for it. So I ended up waiting a couple of days, and then I decided, well, let me just go in and to the computer and see if I can find this vehicle. So I go on the website, do a few clicks. I see the car. Like, this is the car. This is it. It actually was in another city. So I ended up talking to someone at the dealership, and they were like, yes, we can ship it in. So they requested it from, I think it was San Antonio or something. It took about 3 or 4 days to get there. The car came. I went up there. I saw it. I had already gotten pre-approved for it, so I wasn't worried about that. So when I got there, I test drove it. I fell in love with the car, and I walked away with it. And I am so happy and pleased with how it turned out. Now, I consider that an accidental manifestation, but again, there are no accidents when it comes to manifesting and when it comes to the universe, and definitely when it comes to you being very high vibrational in your manifestations. I always say once you get to the level of manifesting on a very high level, a high vibrational level, it is actually a blessing and a curse, because you have to be very, very mindful of your thoughts, of your words, and the actions that you put out with regards to your manifestation, because you are so in tune with the universe, and the universe is there to bring you what you want. The universe is going to be like, wow, she's thinking about it, she's speaking about it, she's taking action on it. Let's do this. Let's do this. And particularly those of you that work with your ancestors, that is another added layer of manifestation power when you are working with your ancestors, because your ancestors are there to guide, protect, and give to you. And if you are honoring, respecting, and doing what you're supposed to do for your ancestors are there. They want to bring you things that you want. And they're going to be like, hey, she wants a new car. It's time for us to get up and get her a new car. So I know for me, between God, universe, and my ancestors, this car came about. And that is my story of how I manifested my car. I'm totally in love with it. Um, it came at the right time, because the universe does not make mistakes. And I am so excited about it. It's a beautiful car. And I just wanted to share that story with you and let you know that manifestation is real. So, as much as you are manifesting, you know, negative experiences, negative outcomes for yourself, you can turn that around and manifest beautiful things for yourself. And it's not just material things. You can manifest peace in your life. You can manifest love and joy and self-love and healing into your life. There is nothing that you cannot think of that you can't manifest. You just have to get in tune with yourself, get in tune with the universe, get in tune with God, whatever other elements you want to use. But you just need to get in alignment with your mind, body, and spirit, and you will be able to manifest the life you desire. So I hope you enjoyed my story. That is the story of the accidental manifestation. So again, if you guys would like a personal reading with me, there is a link here in my banner, or you can find me on Instagram at Melanin Goddess Life. Reach out to me there. If you need any manifestation products, I sell them on my Etsy store at Melanin Goddess Life. Thank you so much, and happy manifesting. Bye-bye.